Action.
Action! We last spoke about Kierkegaard, Soren Kierkegaard, and we explored how he was lying in bed, shaking and trembling, in fear and trembling, wondering if he could live up to the standard of true faith that was set and established by a certain figure in history that he was studying. And according to Kierkegaard, from his perspective, there was no one who has ever walked this earth who lived in true faith. No one has lived up to that standard. And who is this person? It, according to Kierkegaard, was not Jesus. It was not Buddha. It was Abraham. And we're going to take a couple of videos and explore Kierkegaard's perspective on Abraham. Now, in Judeo-Christian teachings, Sunday school, Hebrew school, Abraham takes about 15 minutes of lesson, maybe 30 minutes, as opposed to someone like, say, Moses or Jesus, which is days and days of study. And the quick lesson about Abraham is he's kind of the first Jew, and he kind of circumcised himself and his son, and that's about it. And after Abraham, there was monotheism, and before Abraham, there was not. But Kierkegaard goes much more slowly, and we're going to take a couple of videos to look at Kierkegaard's study of Abraham and Kierkegaard's judgment or claim that Abraham is the only example in history of the standard of true faith. So there's Abraham, and here's Kierkegaard studying him, and I wasn't there, but supposedly Abraham was born in Ur, which is a city in Mesopotamia, the Tigris-Euphrates fertile valley. And Abraham was living in a civilization which was, there weren't too many at the time. There was Egypt and there was Mesopotamia. And Abraham lived in a family that sold idols as their family business. Idols, like the little figures that one worships. The culture and predominant religion, or if not exclusive religion, was polytheistic, many gods. And Abraham would question this. Abraham had a Socratic approach to things. He would question and try to get underneath things. And he would ask his father and all in his tribe, why do we worship these idols? And he never got a satisfactory answer. And according to Abraham, there was something calling him, something either inside him or outside of him, that was summoning him to forbear polytheism and adopt monotheism. And Abraham would ultimately resolve to leave Ur, to leave civilization itself, to say goodbye to his family and never see them again, and to go into the wilderness. His wife, Sarah, would choose to go with him. Now, he at least had some sort of navigation system guiding him. She was simply, according to the lore, following him. It could be the very case that Sarah had more insight and wisdom and Abraham was following her, but a male patriarchal view of history is never going to allow that interpretation. But my money's on Sarah. Anyway, that's another video. So Abraham's wandering with Sarah and their tribe and their mules and their retinue, and he's searching for something. And Kierkegaard's really studying this experience. And Abraham is in the wilderness with Sarah and their retinue, and they're dealing with the elements and bandits and predators and all kinds of peril. And they had forborne the comforts of civilization, and they tearfully said goodbye to their family, never to see them again. And this quest would go for a long time, and they would wander what's today the Middle East, and they would settle. They finally found the spot that Abraham felt was correct, or was being told it was correct. And through this whole journey, Sarah and Abraham were never able to conceive a child, and this was a lifelong wish for them, and it just wasn't happening until their later years. After a long, long wait, Sarah would create a son for Abraham. His name was Isaac. And while Isaac was still an infant, Abraham hears a voice, or is summoned. I wasn't there, but the voice says, and Abraham covets and cherishes this child. The voice says, tomorrow morning, I want you to take your infant son and go up the mountain, and I want you to kill your son. And Abraham, in true faith, without really batting an eyelash, chooses that he will do this. He sleeps a peaceful sleep, according to Kierkegaard, wakes up the next day, they saddle the asses, and they're going to head on up. And I'll conclude this video, and in the next video we'll talk about the moment-by-moment experience that Abraham would undergo in true faith from Kierkegaard's perspective. But I'll leave you with this, that the next morning Abraham is ready to take his son up the mountain to slaughter him, and he was going to do that, and he did go up the mountain with his son, and he did hold a dagger ready to plunge it into his son's heart, and we will talk about this in the next video. But if you were to see your neighbor at 6 a.m. taking their son out the door, and you were to ask, what are you doing with your son? Just curious. And their response were to be, I was told to go up the mountain with my child and to kill them, my infant. You would probably call the police or call child services or intercede in some way. And we study Abraham, and Kierkegaard does as well. And we have a different interpretation of what Abraham did that morning, and Kierkegaard does too. So in the next video, we're going to go moment by moment through Abraham's process of obeying this dictate to kill his son. Ganagona. Big, warm, effusive gratitude and love to my wife, Kate. She knows many things. She has wisdom that's infinite. Wait till you see her material. Desmond, our feline, who knows all the secrets but will never tell. Callum von Moger from Australia. Frank McGrath from Canada. His wife, Marissa Rivero McGrath. Thank all of you. I'm going to go now.